All right, are we good? You guys want to go?
Yeah.
Good, JC? Yeah. Cool. Doing it. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer, Steve, JC, Alfonso with you on this beautiful Thursday morning. Busy show today, a lot to get to. We've been getting sidetracked too much recently, so today we got to focus up. We got Jake Wujastyk on the show. We got Jeff Macke on the show. Kenny Glick will stop by. Steve has biotech trades to discuss, so we got a lot going on. Let's get right to it. We need enough with the 5 minutes of blabbering before.
Wait, hold on.
What?
But how was Nelly?
Oh my
God, fine. A few too many whiskeys. Many. Listen, I mean, it's tough. It's, I don't want to give Nelly a hard time, but I just saw Chris Stapleton like 10 days ago at Madison Square Garden. And Morgan and I both walked out of Chris Stapleton like, wow, that was unbelievable. Stapleton went on for 2.5 hours. Nelly was up there for an hour, maybe.
Was Nelly doing the old? It's getting. So
yeah. He was doing all that. I mean, listen, we had a lot of fun. Mom and dad don't get to go out as much as we used to back in the day. So we had a good time with the neighbors and everything like that. It was good. It's what you thought it would be. It's Nelly. Right. I mean, it's not Chris Stapleton. He
did his hits and got out of there. Yeah.
Chris Stapleton at the Garden or Nelly outside of Bethlehem Steel. Like literally.
And the cool though.
It was kind of cool. I was going to take a picture, but it wasn't going to come out because I was going to show you because I actually looked pretty cool. So Nelly's singing, and then like the old Bethlehem Steel stacks are like behind him. It's cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, let's dance.
All right. My kids like it when we go, oh, must be the money. My kids like that song. My kids actually like a lot of Nelly songs, believe it or not. We got the Dow futures this morning up 200 this morning, 44,520 for the Dow. S&P 500 futures up 0.2%. That's 6,400 for the S&Ps. NASDAQ 100 futures leading the way up this morning, 0.75%, 175 points to the upside, pushing 23,600 for the NASDAQ 100 futures. 30-year bond futures flat this morning at 115.5. We got crude oil up 0.5%, pushing 65. Copper up 0.25%, 442. We got gold up almost a full percent, 34.60. Silver up 2%, pushing 39, with the VIX back down towards 16 for the VIX. Over in funny money land, we got Bitcoin up another G note this morning, 116,350, up 1% on the day. Ethereum 38.30, up 4% this morning for the old ETH. In Solana, ETH about to make new recovery highs here. Solana, in the meantime, up 2%, 172 for Solana, and that brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.77 trillion. What stands out from this morning's futures?
Mostly earnings standing out for me.
Tell me why. Tell me more.
Just a ton of activity this morning. Tell me more. I'll go down the list. There's some big names. Duolingo is up almost 30%. This is a huge AI story now. Groupon 20%.
That was shout out to Riley, who's been pounding the table on Duolingo being an AI story. And I can only tell you that because I was surprised to hear that. I didn't realize that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's an AI story. And I guess it clearly is. Shout out Riley.
Celsius, this is the sugar energy drink, up like 25%. Look at this pre-market candle.
They're definitely not killing people.
Big growth story there. The Dutch Bros up 20%. Fastly, Peloton, 17%. This MQ, which is some sort of fintech, I believe, or financial software, Marketa, up huge this morning. SolarEdge and Sunrun also up double digits pre-market on earnings. SolarEdge 8%. Sunrun is up 21% though. You got the NVO rallying on the Lilly headlines, up about 7.5%. The same with Viking Therapeutics, VKTX. It's an interesting looking chart here too. DraftKings, really nice beat, moving higher in the pre-market, about 6 or 7%, I think. 7.5%. Sarepta, JC.
Yeah.
That one's been crazy.
Why do you call me for Sarepta?
And then you got some semiconductor movement.
Why do you say my name when you say Sarepta?
We were talking about it on a meeting not long ago. I feel like you're always talking about Sarepta, no? Right. Spencer, back me up. He's a big Sarepta guy.
I mean, it came up, and the only reason I even remember that is because Sarepta, I haven't thought about that stock in like 10 years, right? But it came up like a month ago, maybe, right, in a meeting somewhere. But if I recall, it was right back down at the bottom of that range, right?
The point is,
Topher says no sugar. There's no sugar in the Celsius, Strazza. Fake news.
Oh, wow, 16 each.
Fake news.
It's got to be. There's like fake sugar in it. It's even worse.
Oh, now that might be true.
But JC, ready? Eli Lilly. I told you it was a short.
Is Eli Lilly getting crushed this morning?
It's down. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah, it's down 7%.
I told you.
God
I told you
damn
guys.
it. I'm not in the trade. God damn it.
Me either.
Man, This is a trade we've been talking about for so long. This thing is such a zero and it is literally falling apart.
This is why the reaction matters more than the numbers. Because if you look at the numbers, oh, wait, they beat and they raised? Oh, damn.
They beat and they raise and the stock is down?
Pretty good, right?
We've been waiting years for this moment, discussing it and covering it ad nauseum on the morning show for you guys every day. And here you have it. Is it a top? Is it finally a top? I don't know.
Man, this thing was a top 10 company in the world. And then The Economist magazine told everybody that it was the everything drug and it stopped going up immediately. Shout out to The Economist magazine. You people.
Oh, that's how it happened.
You people.
Guys, seriously though, you could draw a thick line around like 700, 715 here, and this is just a really clean textbook distribution pattern. At this point,
it's
if we're
nasty,
down here,
with relative strength rolling over. I mean, it checks all the boxes, and I'm not short.
We might sound biased, but this is just classical technical analysis. You know, this is a bearish pattern if it completes here.
I can't believe that these fat fucks can't get skinnier by taking drugs. And they have to go back and do it the old-fashioned way with exercising and eating healthy. Can you believe that? Shout out to all the fat fucks out there.
Okay. That's all I got on earnings and pre-market.
But there's so many more. Well, Jeff Macke talking about Jeff's going to come on and talk about his favorite company in the world, not favorite stock, his favorite company, Peloton. Which is up this morning.
Peloton.
Right?
I mentioned Peloton.
I want to hear what Jeff Macke thinks about these fat pills, because those are consumer stocks. Are they not?
Yes. No, they're not.
Fat pills are not consumer stocks. Why?
No,
I don't think so.
I honestly, I don't really care what you think. I care what Jeff thinks, and I think he's going to say yes.
Okay.
You guys should, if you guys didn't see Kenny's list of stocks he's watching today, usually Kenny publishes a list of like 5 or 10 stocks he's watching. Today he published a list of like 30. There's like so much going on right now.
Yeah, we're jamming.
I think this might be the biggest earnings day of the quarter from a quantity standpoint. It just there's so many big moves off of it. Like you mentioned all the gainers, you didn't even mention the losers. You mentioned Eli Lilly, but like Fortinet down 20%, Exact Sciences down 20%, Crocs, I saw that was mentioned in the chat, down 18%, Elf down 10%, Bumble getting crushed. What else is down this morning that we care about?
Bumble is the one where the girls reach out?
Airbnb. I don't know if that's still true. I know it was true at a certain point. Airbnb down 6%.
Yeah, Airbnb just a serial disappointer.
I want to love that stock and that
me
company.
Too.
I want to
I'm
love
with
it.
you.
But
It stinks.
I just can't.
It's just such a bad business being one of these like landlords where like you own a real estate property and you're like renting it out on Airbnb. It's a shitty business.
I don't know. It sounds either
It shouldn't be.
It's so stupid or it's
be.
genius. I don't know.
It's not terrible for the consumer. And I mean, I'm banned from using Airbnb because of Giancarlo, as we know.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, we know.
Right.
Sure.
That was not my fault. Right. That was not my fault. It's not why I'm saying that. It's just a shitty business. Like you're renting out your home to like randos.
JC was banned by Airbnb before the stock ever came public.
Honestly, to be fair, it wasn't my fault. And just for the audience to be like, oh, JC's making excuses. No, I'm not making excuses. I opened the door and the doorknob fell off. I didn't do anything. I wasn't being aggressive. My wife is like, it was all your fault. You're so aggressive. No, it was not me. I literally twist the handle and the door falls off. I sit down in the chair. I wasn't rocking. It was a morning. Like everybody's sober. I sit on the chair falls. And then and then we laughed. Remember, we laughed, and Giancarlo was the last one to leave, and he left the door open.
Okay. On that last
None
note,
of those things were my fault.
On the last one about the door being open, when we did the Airbnb like a year and a half ago, I ended up being the last one there, and yes, the door was open, and I closed it.
This was a great moment.
This seems to be a habit.
So when I log into Airbnb, it says, "No, you are not allowed in here."
Anyway,
that's fantastic.
Moving on.
So like Spencer has to get our Airbnbs. My wife has to get Airbnbs. Like it's not okay. And the stock, see, fuck you, Airbnb. That's what you get.
I've owned Airbnb several times in the last few years.
I have.
Yeah.
And I've been stopped out a couple times.
As have I. I want to love it. It's just, it's hard.
There's too many. Here's the thing. For right now, there's just too many other things working. There's too many good stocks out there to waste your time with somebody who's going to come out here, miss earnings, and disappoint quarter in and quarter out. That's it. No time for that.
One of my rules for fighting trends is exactly that, right? So if you're thinking about fighting trends, don't do it, right? That's rule number one. Don't do it. But if you're going to do it, you better have a good reason. You better have very strict risk management procedures in place if you're going to do it. And rule number 4, there better not be better opportunities out there, right? So those are my rules of fighting trends. Those are good rules, I think.
Yeah, opportunity
like that, Strazza?
is huge. I do, and you're right. You can do cute things with risk management using technical analysis to protect yourself. So it's not that.
Rule number 1 of fighting trends. Rule number 1 is don't do it. Then rule number 2 is if you are going to do it, you better have good reasons, like really good reasons, right? So like, see what
would a good what's a reason that would come to mind first for you?
Momentum divergences, relative strength rolling over,
positioning.
The cousins already, like other stocks in the group already rolling over, like what I mean, like
a solid short interest, a little offsides positioning.
Oh, you're saying from the long side, like if we're buying, super offside, short interest, yeah, exactly. Like you gotta have a lot of good reasons, and you got to be able to know where you're going to be out.
For example,
when you say fighting trends,
hold on. For example, in the news today, we have 2 stocks, SolarEdge and Sunrun. If you're following along at home, you could pull these charts up and trace them back to prior cycles where they bottomed right around the same exact area. So if you want to buy a downtrend, at least have a really logical level to do it against. Something like SolarEdge, those 2016-17 lows. We had a similar tactical bottom then. And you define your risk, you know where you're out. And look, this stock's up almost 3x from the lows now. It's got a massive short interest. So it's not that you can't try to catch a falling knife or buy a bottom. It's that you have to do it responsibly.
When you say fighting trends, are you referring to like the micro individual stock level or like the macro overall market level?
All sorts of trends. Okay. Both. Yeah, sure. Both.
Okay.
That's a good question, Spencer. I'd say both. Yeah, I mean, listen, we know that asset prices trend, right? So if you're fighting trends, the probabilities are against you, right? So if you want, then there's nothing, it's okay to fight trends and have the probabilities against you if the risk versus reward profile is skewed in your favor, but you better be fucking sure, and you better have strict risk management procedures in place, and there better not be other opportunities that are better than this one, right? So there's certain, caveats to fighting trends.
I think most people don't stop and think, oh, are there better opportunities for this right now? Like, I think you had me until that. If the risk reward profile is in your favor, fine, right? If you have an obvious stop,
but
great.
If there's a better risk versus reward profile somewhere else,
I don't know. Yeah, but who actually is going and looking? Oh, actually,
well, no. To be fair, not many people, and we're grateful for them, right? These people are lazy and ignorant, and if it wasn't for lazy and ignorant people, we wouldn't make as much money as we do.
If I find a setup that I like, I'm not going to say, okay, hold on, let me spend another couple hours looking for a better one. No, I'm gonna like just do the one that I found, right?
Yeah, also, and that's why you're not a multi-billion-dollar portfolio manager.
I guess that's the only reason, actually.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
That beard alone will get you. Oh, by the way, this just in breaking news. During the concert last night, Morgan says, "When are you gonna shave? You look so dirty." So,
right.
Really?
Yeah, she called
me. Speak of the devil.
She
watched the show.
No, she didn't watch the show.
Definitely not.
But I was doing a video yesterday. I was doing like an educational thing, and I was yelling. I was like, "Get your dopamine fix somewhere else!" And I was like yelling at the computer. And Morgan heard me, and last night she was telling me that she thought that was funny.
That's great.
All
right. Well, hey, you had a good run. You look great.
I didn't shave this morning though.
No, I can see.
Yeah. I was getting some compliments from the neighbors yesterday. Some of the neighbor gals, they like it.
Tell Morgan that. She'll probably love to hear that you're getting
other girls like it. Yeah, that's a great idea.
From the neighbor gals. Guys, listen. Have you heard about the mega trend?
So we're gonna start a new website, Only Dads.
Only Dads?
Only Dads. Yeah, me and the guys. We're starting a new website, Only Dads.
Wait,
I love that. And what kind of things are the Only Dads gonna do on the Only Dads website?
That's a good question. I don't know. We hadn't thought it through. We just like the name. Right?
No, it's a great name.
It's a great name. Right? You think that's taken? Definitely, right?
I don't know. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Steve.
Stop. Yeah. Have you heard about the mega trend?
No.
Sports gambling. You could do it these days right from the comfort of your cell phone, believe it or not. Did you hear the banger of a report that DraftKings just put out? Can I read you some highlights?
I just saw the price action, but I did not see the report. So please.
Revenue, $1.5 billion, up 37% year over year, beat expectations of 1.42. Net income of $158 million, a substantial turnaround. They had a net loss, actually, the same quarter last year. Adjusted EBITDA, $300 million, more than doubling year over year. It's hitting company records across the board. 30-cent EPS, beating the 15-cent consensus. So they doubled the street. Monthly unique players, that's like their user metric, climbed 6% to 3.3 million. Average revenue per player up 29%. And then sportsbook performance is really what's driving this. Sportsbook revenue was up 45%.
I'm remembering now. I'm remembering last quarter they all blamed the NFL season, right? Didn't they all say NFL season was like it was the worst season for sports books ever?
Yeah, and they were blaming like too many people were hitting on their parlays, like they were just saying dumb stuff. Maybe it was true, but this is what you call a breakthrough quarter. This is the quarter I've been waiting for.
Can you believe that more people watched that the first preseason game than any of the NBA playoff games? That's crazy.
That true? I didn't see that.
That's
really
wild.
Dude, football is really something. Wow.
Dude, just in general, football dominates across the board, and Fox dominates across the board, right? Yeah. I've noticed that. Fox dominates in sports, in business, and politics, right? Football is not for sport.
It depends. Like, I mean, Fox News is the most watched cable news, but
just the Fox across the board, not just the Republican network.
So NFL Network was just
win.
Hold on.
Like anything Paramount sucks, anything Time Warner, anything Warner Brothers, like all that stuff. Like these companies are all going bankrupt. MSNBC, CNN.
I don't know if that's true, but okay.
What do you mean? No,
Spencer, what happened with the NFL Network and ESPN again?
Oh,
Like, what
this is so. Oh my god,
details
so interesting. There are no stock implications for this, so I don't know if we need to spend too much time on it. But basically,
Disney? No.
oh yeah, okay, sort of. Basically, they made a trade, right? Basically, the NFL basically gave Disney the licensing rights to Red Zone and the ability to use that brand and create maybe more Red Zones and a bunch of other things. And in exchange, ESPN got the NFL Network got some equity.
In ESPN,
as part of the trade. Yeah, it was a licensing and production ownership for equity trade, right? So basically what this does, as far if you're like an NFL fan, is basically just means that like ESPN is now like, or Disney, I guess, is like now like the financial backer of like NFL media stuff, right? So it's good for them.
Sounds like it's good for both of them.
It kind of is good for both of them. It's kind of my take, but
cool.
Yeah, now you have the league in bed with a sports book. Very interesting stuff. A lot going on there.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just in, you know how we're in the time of the cycle where companies that have the name of an animal in the name of the company, right?
Yeah.
So when there's an animal in the company,
this is big.
Stocks tend to do well. So you got Datadog. Datadog this morning fits that category, up 7.5% today. And then of course, don't be surprised that Shark Ninja, another animal, Shark Ninja, also up 10% this morning. So, the trend of companies that have an animal in their name continues to outperform. I mean, it's just.
I'm a huge fan of Shark Ninja. They have great products. The Dog has been actually a dog in software. Big underperformer.
You know what I just learned about Shark Ninja that I thought was really cool?
What?
They go to their competitors and they go to the reviews of their competitors and see what they're bitching about, and then they create products to solve the problems for what the people are complaining about for their competitors. Isn't that brilliant?
You could tell. Like they make great stuff.
Don't they make really the best vibrators?
Cool. You say this every time we talk about this company.
You would know more about vibrators than I do, but
you think so?
I mean, if I had to guess, you're definitely freakier than me.
Anybody in the chat? Any experts on vibrators? JC's just dying to know if he can trust the Shark Ninja branded vibrator.
Shark Ninja makes vacuums, don't they?
I'm a big fan of the vacuum.
They make products that have little engines.
Wait. We have a Ninja.
Yeah, JC's right.
The blender, that's a Ninja, right?
Yeah, it's a Ninja too. Okay. They make things that have little engines, and vibrators are that, right?
And I know any
vibrator experts here. Strazza is pretending he doesn't know anything about vibrators.
So I know we beat this topic into the ground, but Dyson is another company. Like anything made by Dyson is just mind-blowingly good.
Listen, before we get into our guests, can we just throw up slide 2 there? Now that we know that the companies with animals in their names continue to act well. Just an FYI.
Okay.
All right. So here we're looking at FINRA margin debt. I'm being told, Strazza, that people borrowing money at a historic rate to buy stocks is somehow a bad thing. Can you believe what these serial killers? What kind
There's
of
no denominator? There's no denominator in this freaking ratio.
Oh, you're too smart. You're too smart,
damn it.
Strazza. You're
Get this off the screen.
No, but what I'm saying,
freaking economist. I thought I get to hang out with good chart people for a reason. You bring me this.
Can you throw up the next chart, please? Can you throw up the next chart? Come on now. Come on. Who do you think I am? Come on.
Hey now.
Hey now. So I want to give a shout out to one Steven Suttmeyer, a graduate of one Fairfield University.
Yeah.
Steve Suttmeyer, former chief equity technical analyst at Bank of America for almost 20 years. Fairfield University alumni. If you didn't catch that the first time, shout out to Fairfield U. Strazza got his master's at Fairfield University. That was my undergraduate school. Also, Mike Lee, a fan favorite here in the show, also Fairfield University alumni.
There's a lot of us.
There's a lot of us. Shout out, Fear the Deer. Go Stags. So anyway, not only is our people borrowing money at a historic rate to buy stocks, not of a negative for the market. In fact, historically, it's a good thing. It's evidence of risk appetite. And so if you want to compare it to previous levels throughout previous cycles, margin debt actually isn't even that high. So there's still a lot more room to go.
I like
Spencer,
this chart a lot.
if these angry perma bears ask you, you tell them there's still a lot more borrowing to do.
Okay.
Totally. This is an excellent chart. This is such a great chart. Can you tell me, do you know what it says? Like, why did it, how come that divergence in 17, 18, 19? Is there text there that kind of paints a picture about this?
Yeah. So, you know, it throughout 2013 to 2018, all these angry economists, imagine being an economist. I can't even. These angry economists were telling everybody and scaring your parents' financial advisors into thinking that high margin debt was somehow going to derail the stock market. And they were lying to you then, and they're lying to you now. Fucking scumbags. Can you imagine being an economist?
How can there be so much margin debt and so much money in money market funds? It doesn't make sense.
Because your denominator fallacy here, Spencer, when you denominate by the market capitalization of stocks, it's a rounding error.
No,
rates are going to come down.
But my point was, why are people borrowing if they supposedly have all this cash on the sidelines?
Well, they don't supposedly have all this cash on the sidelines. The cash is there, but it's not that much when you compare it to the total market capitalization of the stock market. You're looking at things on an absolute basis.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
Right?
They're not borrowing as much on a relative basis.
Yeah.
Is the point of the chart.
Point of the chart.
All right.
We also, this just in, new slide 2. This just in.
And then I'm bringing Kenny out.
Speaking of miserable fucks, this economist here at Moody's, throw up the economists at Moody's. I don't know who this person is. I'm sure he loves his kids. This one, Damita Menzies. My understanding is that this particular person, I don't know if that is a male or a female.
No. That's the reporter in this case. That's not the economist.
Oh no, it's the right. Got it. It's not the economist itself. It's the reporter. But this Moody's person, my understanding is always wrong, which is not surprising from an economist. But this particular economist is once again trying to scare your parents' financial advisors. And they are suggesting that the U.S. economy, get this, Steve Strazza, the U.S. economy is on the precipice of a recession. Can you believe that?
Again,
well,
what do you know?
You know, economists being angry and sad is really consistent with bull markets, is it not?
Yes, it is.
I mean,
actually, someone in the chat suggests that somebody just needs to buy them all vibrators. Maybe.
Well, this may or may not be true.
Confirmed whether Shark Ninja makes the best vibrators? Is this confirmed?
This may or may not be true, but what are you going to do about it? Is that's the bottom line, right? What are you going to do about it? And if the answer should be probably nothing, right? This is not actionable. What? This is not actionable information.
Yes, it is. When the economists tell you to sell, you buy.
No.
How is this not actionable?
I mean, for the people taking this seriously, this is not actionable. This is not an actionable piece. No.
The people taking it seriously, those are good too, because those people get scared, they sell their stocks, and we make more money. Like, remember, not everybody is as aware as to how the world works like us here every day.
If everyone sold their stocks, there'd be more.
Like your parents' financial advisor is going to read this and be like, "Oh shit, we need to sell our stocks," right?
If there are more sellers than buyers, then the prices would go down.
I wonder what this person even said, because the job market's fine.
Do you wonder? Actually?
You have to separate the economy at a certain point too, because the AI thing that is stimulating, it's probably going to drive GDP growth and all that, right? So the big numbers will grow, but I don't know if the rest of like the everyday economy is going to be impacted at all, at least early on. So
dude, there were a lot of people in Nelly last night, man, and it was a Wednesday night in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and this place was packed.
All right, we are running behind. I'm bringing Kenny out.
Fine for now. I would.
Economy seems fine. Okay. They're putting cap.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come for my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house.
What the hell what's a lot of foul language going on this show this morning? I heard from the other room. Like, what's going on in here?
What's going on here?
Just yelling at economists? Yeah.
You know, we're not yelling. We're grateful for the economists. You know, if it wasn't for the economists lying to everybody, we wouldn't be making as much money as we do. So
I guess you guys really want to know the number one indicator. It's called the Rappaport indicator. You guys might not know it. My uncle. So back in 1987, I remember the conversation he was having with my dad. My dad's talking about buying the dip because the market had crashed, and my uncle's saying, "Oh, this is what happens every time I buy stocks. This market's rigged. It's nobody makes money in the market." And my dad's like, "You're an idiot." And then fast forward, let's say 12 years later, suddenly my uncle calls me. "Hey, I'm hearing things about this company, Cisco. What do you think?" "Oh, you mean the stock that's gone from 8 to 80? You just heard about it. You want to buy it?" "You probably shouldn't, but okay." And then the market crashes again. "Man, this market's rigged. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life." Stays out of the market till about circa 2008, 2009.
Perfect.
Calls me up, says, "Hey, what do you think about these communication stocks?" I'm like, "You seriously getting back into the market again? Come on, man. You know what's going to happen." And then boom. And he's been out of the market since 2008. When he comes back, we all run.
Has he come back? Has he called you yet? He hasn't
called me now, and we haven't really spoke to him.
I wonder if he's related to Steve Rappaport. I had a guy like a decade and a half ago throw a computer at me. This was on a trading desk years back. Literally threw a computer at me, hit me right in the face.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's a video like that on the internet. Guys pegging the guy. Back when the internet was fun, we just had videos of like crazy people in their offices and dancing bananas. What's shaking, everybody?
Nothing.
Kenny,
you tell me.
Yeah, you had a big list this morning. Give us a couple.
Yeah, first of all, can you explain why your list went from 5 to 7 to 30?
Because I want to see if the algo can pick up the ones that I miss. Because I could only focus on 4 or 5 symbols, and every once in a while, I go from focusing on earnings reports to a shiny like object like YHC. Anybody know about the liquor house this morning? Yeah, let's go YHC. So I want to see if this algo can pick up the ones that I'm not watching and, spit them out so that it can help me, help you, help me, help you. So that's kind of why the list got really big. Plus, there's so many companies reporting earnings last night and this morning. So I want to watch them all. And there's only one way to do it. NOS and the algo. What?
Well, if you want to get Kenny's list.
Which ones are actually like on your radar this morning?
Well,
like right
Eli
now?
Lilly was the monster already. So, I mean, look at this chart on Eli Lilly. Just awesome. Hang on a second. I'll show you my chart. And this was, I guess, quote unquote, easy money. Eli Lilly got smashed. There's your little faux show, bro, under VWAP. There's your VWAP break. I'm a buyer at 655.
Can you explain the faux show, bro, to the folks maybe are new here and are not familiar?
Ooh, sure,
With the greatest strategy ever, the faux show, bro.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this trade's been working for 30 years since we kind of coined the phrase. It's the fake out, shake out, breakout. Stocks always make one last move to get the last, sucker, I guess, out of the trade. And, again, when the stock starts to stabilize and it rallies, people put stops at, let's say, that double bottom. The market goes and gets those people, rallies, tests that low, and then breaks the VWAP. So when you have that fake out, shake out moment under VWAP, and then you break VWAP, especially on a stock that's in the news or has reported earnings, this trade hasn't failed me yet this year. So just awesome. Just staying focused on this kind of setup, just like a Peloton here, on a cheaper moment, it gets smashed down. There's the faux show. There's the VWAP break. Look at this stock. By the way, shout out to Sean. I believe he's still got some leaps on Peloton. Well played, my friend, from $5 up to 8 and change. So, but again, look at this monster move. This is just your fake out, shake out. And then there's your VWAP breakout, and you're buying this thing at 750, goes to 880. Very nice. And if you weren't around for it earlier, there's another one, and there's another one. And now we're back in the Peloton right here at around 781 right now, selling it. That's me on the offer if anybody wants to buy it from me at 798. So the fake out, shake out, breakout is just this trade that continues to happen. So I look at these stocks like IonQ today, right? Getting hammered. The more it gets hammered, the better. There's going to be a moment where they just capitulate. It comes back, tests that capitulation, then breaks the VWAP, and that's where we buy it, because those capitulation levels, the faux and the show, are your stops. You define your trade right there. And then if you get the VWAP break, you generally get momentum back on the other way, and the squeeze is on. And if you watched SMCI yesterday, it took a while for it to set up, but inevitably it did. Just the stock, nobody wanted to buy it for a couple of hours, but once it faux showed and then consolidated, we got paid. AMD kind of, same kind of thing. I was kind of shocked that it took this long to come back, but
yeah,
there's your faux show, and then we bought it on the breakout area, and then you even got paid, even if you were a little late. There's the little faux show right under the VWAP just for an extra pop, and then if you wanted to do it again, there it is. Fakes them out, shakes them out, there's the VWAP break. So AMD, if you stayed patient on it yesterday, of course the buyers were showing it up AMD. Haven't you heard? The market doesn't go down anymore. So if you're looking at quality stocks, not like pump and dump piece of garbage like YHC that you just discovered, but stocks are being bought if you haven't seen it, if you haven't noticed. So any stock gapping down on earnings is worth watching. And, you just wait for the turn and the VWAP break, and we're getting paid. This is the greatest trading market I have ever seen.
All right, Kenny Glick live at hitthebid.com. And then you're doing a schmooze tonight. Is that true, Kenny?
Yeah, big time. So we got, one of my favorite guys. I don't like, hyping up anybody that doesn't have something that I like. Jay Sutherland from Trade Pulse coming on again. And he's got something that stands for institutional buys. So at the beginning of the day, within the first 15 minutes, you're getting a scanner that's actually it's almost like a precursor to the VWAP break, because it's telling us what stocks are getting huge influx of institutional volume, which is basically VWAP. So we're going to have him on the show today. You're also going to have my boy Don Corleone on again. And, of course, DJ starts at around 10 o'clock tonight. So if you're in a dancing
10
mood.
o'clock at night?
Wow. All right.
Yeah, we stay up all night, baby. We never stop.
Send me the link. I'll swing by.
We'll be sending an email to Kenny's people. If you're not on Kenny's free list, get at the bare minimum, hitthebid.com. Get on the free list. You'll get notified tonight how to get access to the schmooze. So
should be a good fun time. And listen, if you guys want to learn a little bit about options, we talk about options. The schmooze is basically born from, weekly options and earnings reports and COVID. So we just basically sat in our house and just traded options on Fridays, and we would prepare for them on Thursday nights, have a couple of cocktails and, have some friends and had a good time. So I'll hopefully see you guys tonight. I'll send you out the link and the secret password, and
good deal.
Party tonight. See
you there, Kenny.
Nice, Kenny. I love the link and a secret password.
It is.
We got fake news in the chat. JC calling a recession in 2023. For the record, I am a firm believer that recessions are a choice for many people, especially those who matter the most.
It's like your worst of all the takes. That's like your worst take.
I know you don't like it when I say that, but it's true. Recessions are a choice. I will die on that hill. Sorry, not sorry. If you want a recession, you can have it. But if you choose not to have a recession in your life, you are welcome to do that as well.
Anyway.
I don't know why that's such a bad take.
How do we get on this topic?
Fake news on the chat.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack.
All right. Hey, we got Jake Wujastyk in the house. It's been a while since we caught up. Let's just see what he's trading.
Newcomer alert. That's true.
What? Newcomer alert? Oh, okay.
JC calling for a recession? Really? I mean, you got to be new around here if you think that that's actually happening. Recession. Recessions are... Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Sup, Jake?
What up?
Speaking of recessions being a choice, right, Jake? If you don't want a recession, you don't need to have a recession.
No, you don't.
Here in the chat, we're saying recessions are a mindset, right?
I like that.
State of mind. I like that. Some people are in a recession their whole life. You can see them they're on Twitter, actually. You can find them. These people suck.
Oh, it's funny.
What's up, Jake? What's going on, my man?
Not much. Thanks for having me on. It's been a while.
Dude, Jake, great snowboarder. Jake, we'd love to have you with us in Park City in February. Getting together. Remember Charge Summit back in 2019?
Oh, nice.
We're bringing it back. Bringing it back.
A little lower.
Going to Utah. Utah's a little easier to get to than Breckenridge.
Definitely.
First of all. And second of all, remember people were dropping like flies at that elevation?
I remember that.
It was pretty bad. So Park City's a little more muted there, easier to get to. So we're going to do Park City. That's fair, right?
Yeah, no, I've been to Park City twice. So what? Yeah, just send me over the information. I would love to come if I can make it.
100%, 100%. So, tell me more, Jake. My understanding is that this bear market's going to start any day now. Any day, any minute is my understanding from the people whose lives are in a recession. Is that true, you think?
I don't know. To be honest, I mean, who knows? But I do get a little nervous around this time of year just because you do have some wacky things happen. But I generally try to not hold anything too heavy as a narrative because things can change pretty quick. But at the same time, I mean, from everything I've looked at, from a historical standpoint, what the S&P 500's done this year, I mean, it looks like 7,000 SPY or 700 SPY, 7,000 SPXs.
But Jake, we had 20% returns last year and the year before that. How can we have another one?
I'm sure Ryan Diedrich has a good stat for
That's right. Good call. I'm sure he's got the data.
Shout out to Ryan. He's always puts out some awesome stats.
I'm on his podcast on Friday, actually, tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
so
nice.
Jake, you're a pretty short-term trader, right?
What's your time horizon exactly? What do you think is the?
I mean, it depends. If I'm trading options, it could be an overnight thing. If I'm trading shares, it could be 2 months.
Okay.
Recently,
short enough.
Yeah, I think shorter than probably the time frames that you guys are generally looking at.
And you're weighing seasonality into your process, though.
Yeah, definitely. It's not everything, but it's definitely a variable that I think you just come around this time of the year and things can change quick. But at the same time, it's hard to say.
So what kind of stuff will you look at for seasonality? You'll look at the monthly trend. How does this month typically do? Once we enter August or something, you'll just kind of check out the seasonal trend for August and be aware of that as some sort of context for your trading.
Yeah, that and just overall experience. Generally, I just feel like this time of year you kind of have a little more volatility, especially when that rubber band's just been stretched a little far. But at the same time, we have things like Friday that come in and reset the market.
Yeah, in
one day versus 2 weeks. So, I think that's a big thing. Is gauge. The VIX is also another one I like to look at. So if the VIX is suppressed and we get a 20-30% move in a couple days, to me that's more of a bottoming indicator than probably like the start of something else. I had a lot of people asking me because I definitely got short-term bearish last week, and people were talking about, well, I want to buy these VIX products, which are always tough to play, and some people were saying, oh, I'm thinking about holding for weeks, and it's like, I mean, if the VIX goes up 20-30% a day, you really want to take advantage of that. So definitely, just basic seasonality percent data, and then just kind of seems like over the years, just last year's the Japan unwind, which was honestly pretty insane to watch.
This time last year. It was actually
literally the 5th, I think.
This day last year.
It was within a couple days, yeah.
Was it August 4th, August 7th, August 5th? Yeah. Mageddon.
Yeah.
So we had a similar sell-off this year into April, but since then, I mean, it's been hard to even come by any bearish follow-through at all at the index level. So I keep kind of saying to myself, now that we have this V-shaped recovery, it's pretty much completing, I keep analoging and reminding myself of what happened in 2020 when I want to turn bearish, or I want to take profits, or I want to come off the gas. How are you kind of thinking about this rally off the April lows?
I mean, definitely a complete change in status quo. I've seen so many people still trying to say this is just a retest or whatever, but I think it's obvious at this point that we probably put in some pretty significant lows for multi-year with that August move. I think there's always going to be times where you have needed pullbacks and things like that. I would say, in general, just sorry, my dog is just all annoying. But yeah, I would definitely say that in general that the market needs these resets like we had on Friday. The depth of it is definitely, like I said, the VIX is probably the best reading I can go off of. So I think we're going to continue to grind up, but then you're going to have these crazy 20% random VIX days. I think the market's definitely getting a little more immune to some of these news headlines, but yeah.
What kind of stuff you been trading?
Yeah, what's on the radar?
I mean, China it's funny. Every time I come on the show, I feel like I'm talking about China. So
I'll talk about China with you all day, brother.
China's
talk about China whenever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think China is probably, as much as I think the market's going to continue up, I think China's in a pretty interesting position right now for a strong move up.
You think emerging markets in general or just China?
I just focus on China.
That
Why?
Vietnam,
For the beta?
Strazza's Vietnam ripping, man.
Love
no.
Vietnam?
No, I don't pay attention to Vietnam. I don't even know what.
How dare you?
But no, just China in general has been a good trade this year, and it generally sets up, and you just have these setups. Baba is probably one of my favorite setups right now.
Yeah.
The HSI in general is moving through an interesting pocket of liquidity right now that's pretty thin. So I just think
earnings underway as catalysts.
Yeah, that could be it. I'm not sure if Baba earnings is confirmed or not, but
it should be coming up soon.
So
and Tencent, which is similar mega cap growth, China. This Tencent chart just looks so good.
Tencent?
Yeah, the TCEHY and the Tencent music, but that's I wouldn't consider that one of the big guys.
It's acting better than any of the big quote unquote big guys.
Sure.
Jake, what you spent some time in Japan recently? How long were you there?
That was last year, but I was there for like 2 years.
You were in Japan for how long?
2 years, 2 weeks.
I was going to say, damn, son.
It was like almost 1.5 years ago, so it wasn't this year. As
what was your favorite part of Japan? What was your favorite town?
Tokyo is hard to beat. Osaka was a little more party central than I was anticipating. So.
Yeah, you like Kyoto? Kyoto's a nice vibe, huh?
Kyoto's nice. I think Tokyo is just probably my favorite.
Yeah, hard to beat Tokyo. You like Japanese stocks here making new all-time highs?
To be honest, I really don't pay attention much to Japanese stocks.
So very, very China focused from you, huh?
Because they're to trade like Japanese stocks on the U.S. market, like it's not as easy as just buying an ADR.
Yeah, you got Sony, Nintendo, right?
Yeah, so. Baba's the most liquid China name. Baba moves generally the best. It moved the best off the DeepSeek news or kind of headlines back in January. So some of those names don't have a ton of liquidity, but Baba for sure you can pretty much trade that pretty well. Interestingly enough, Micron sometimes moves with China.
Yes, it does.
Why is that?
Because 25% of the revenues come from China.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
totally.
That's actually
I had no idea. I didn't know that.
No, but Jake's spot on. It's this great quasi semiconductor cyclicality vehicle plus a China kicker. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. No, it's it always moves so if AMD and Nvidia are hitting new all-time highs, generally MU's going down. So as soon as I saw AMD getting hit yesterday and MU didn't really get hit at all, that was kind of my sign. And then after hours, they had the news, whatever new tariff 100% news that definitely helps Micron being a U.S. company. But yeah, I got in that one yesterday. So overnight, that was a nice one. Like, for example, I have options in MU. I'm not sure what I'll do at the open. I mean, if you look at the VWAP from, let's see, June 26th is around 117.36. So I think we could potentially just magnet there. I'm not sure what it's doing in pre-market right now, but let's see, what is it at? 114. So yeah, it's generally I don't hold on to options too long, but sometimes if there's a VWAP above, generally that acts as a magnet. So sometimes I'll let some runners go. But
what about from the short side, Jake? What are you doing from the short side?
Nothing.
Well, in this environment, but generally speaking, let's say if we were in a bear market, you'd be shorting as aggressively as you have been buying in a bull market, or do you find yourself doing less?
I generally prefer to just hold cash or shares on something and wait for a market-ish bottom. I mean, Bitcoin is a huge proxy, so if Bitcoin was kind of the reason I got somewhat bearish last week for the short term, just because it wasn't hitting new all-time highs with the market. That's always kind of the main thing I'm looking at as a proxy. But yeah, I mean, back in April and March, I actually owned Celsius shares, which almost acted as kind of this weird hedge to the market.
It's great.
So that's what I did at least back then. And then bought some shares and just sold covered calls when the VIX is at 50, selling
so
covered
you're doing
calls.
a lot less in bear markets.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a hero.
Bear markets are a great time to get better at golf, maybe spend a little time with your family and loved ones.
I love bear markets.
Vacation,
I really do enjoy a good bear market. I don't know why people are so afraid of them. It upsets people. I love them. I don't think it's a good time to play golf. I think it's a good time.
I think it's a great time to just kind of chill, kick back a little bit, get a little R&R in, get ready for the next bowl.
No, I don't.
It's the bottom line is the truth of the matter is it's harder to make money in bear markets, harder to make money on the short side.
But money's made a lot faster. Money's made a lot faster.
You have to take profits quicker.
2008 was the best year I ever had in my life until
See, don't be one of these financial crisis warriors who's going to anchor to something that's never going to happen again. We see what happens
for me to do that because I was there. You see, I was there, right? So I remember just how fun that was. May I remind you,
sir?
College?
I was in college.
Do you remember the fourth quarter of 2018? How much money did we make that quarter when the market was falling apart? That was pretty good, huh? How did we do during COVID? I remember vividly talking to you because we felt a little bit guilty as to just how much money we made while the world is coming to an end, and we actually put on a charity event because us and all our friends were making so much money while people were dying and the world was falling apart and there was this global pandemic and we were making a fortune, remember? And we felt guilty about it and we did it. So you're talking out of two sides of your mouth because I remember
here and act like I'd like crush it in bear markets because I don't, but
just want to remind everybody.
Do great in bull markets.
He's just making shit up, Jake. You see this guy?
Yeah, it was funny.
How quickly he forgets. How quickly.
But yeah, I mean, if a setup's there, I'll buy puts, but generally I'd prefer to just hold cash or shares of something. I definitely take the foot off the gas trading, options and even trying to deal with, an elevated VIX and dealing with IV crush and all of that. So,
do less. I like it. All right. Give us some specific names. What are you watching out here today? You're all over
Baba, Baba's the main thing I'm watching. I've been trading ONDS. I haven't really been trading it. I've just been holding it. I got called on that. And so that's another one I've just been selling covered calls on. I'll buy shares and I'll just sell covered calls. If I get called on it, then
it's great looking base, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's one. Baba's kind of the main monthly candle setup I'm looking at right now. Baba historically this time of year is actually pretty strong. So that's
throw up our Baba chart, Fonz. It's just so good. So do they have seasonal tailwinds into the back half of the year? Is that true?
Just July, August is a pretty decent time of year for Baba.
No kidding. I wonder why. When do they do their Baba Day thing? Is that what it is? You know, Amazon has the Prime Day, and that's a huge quarter for them. Baba has a similar situation. I don't know the details of this company's financials.
I don't either, to be honest.
Because it's not worth it. It's really not worth diving into the Chinese stuff. I still feel that way. It's not that I won't buy these stocks, but
yeah, I mean, you got a gap above, multiple gaps above. From that perspective, just those are upside targets. I think there's one at 132. There's one even higher in like the 140s area, I think, or 138 maybe.
Forget it. I want 300. I want all-time highs in this thing.
Last time Trump was in office, we got him. So
with such a massive base, like such a big reversal pattern, let's be aggressive. I think this one's going a lot higher. I love this, and I think it's perfectly actionable here for not just traders but investors, for people of all time frames. Like Jake's saying, like you could trade a pop in this, like it's perfect. It's coiled up here. We had the triangle drawn on the chart. You could see the volatility squeeze, but also this is just a primary trend reversal pattern, a textbook rounding bottom that's really completing right here around 120, 130-ish. You get confirmation at the cycle highs. And from there, I think you could, bank on a new uptrend being underway that's in place over the long run. Have you bought it yet, Spencer?
Yeah, I'm like the other week. But I was gonna
all in.
I was gonna correct you, but chat beat me to it. Singles Day, November 11th. It's the number one, baby. 1-1-1-1.
Is that Baba Day?
Singles Day.
Yeah, Singles Day. That's like the Alibaba shopping holiday. Well, I don't think it started. I think it was already a thing. I think, right. And then Baba kind of co-opted it. But that's their version of Prime Day. So,
Singles Day.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with single people.
No, it does. I think that's how it started, JC. And then also, I think the number one has some meaning.
Can married people buy things?
Do they not get a discount? Married people?
Yeah.
Life is just not fair, JC.
Nobody said life was fair. Jake, give us a trade. What are we buying right now? I got money to put to work. What am I buying right here, right now? Yeah, right now.
He just said Alibaba.
Maybe this, maybe that. Right here, right now. What are we buying?
Another trade, Jake. We need another trade.
Which one?
I mean, I like Baba shares. I have the October 130 calls as well.
I like how you call them shares. It's so British of you.
Common.
No, I like it. I'm into it. I'm gonna start calling them shares too, I think.
Yeah.
None of the spicy stuff. There's a lot of speculative tech, speculative growth out in China. You watching any of those crazy names?
Baba's not speculative enough. He's got calls on Baba.
Baba's the Amazon of China. It's the largest retailer, one of the largest retailers in the whole world.
Allegedly. Chinese, so who the fuck knows
company.
what they do? Allegedly.
What?
I think Baba's just the most liquid name out of all those.
Yeah. Blue chip.
Thank you. Now Jake's right. Jake's right.
It's like buying
Baba's like a juiced up FXI.
Yeah.
Baba?
It's an index. It's its own index.
I mean, honestly, I feel like Baba sometimes has more liquidity than some of those ETFs.
Probably. Definitely.
All those. So that's what I like. One of these days Baidu is going to have its day, but it's just.
Dude, I've been saying that for how long have we been saying that? It doesn't do anything, this thing.
Yeah.
NJD for that matter.
JD sucks.
Both of them.
Same thing. I think it has its day as well.
Terrible. Jake, tell the folks where they can find you.
X is really where I kind of hang out. Just at Jake __ Wujastyk.
I like how he calls it X.
X Twitter.
No, I like it. I like it. Listen, your nomenclature today is on another level. I like it. I'm into it.
Thanks, Jake.
Jake, my man, I will see you soon. Let me know when you're on the East Coast. Hopefully it doesn't take us until next February to see one another. But if it does, we'll hit the slopes. We'll do it right.
Sounds great. Well, thank you guys for having me on.
You got it.
See ya.
Jake, great snowboarder.
I certainly hope so. He lives in Colorado. I would hope he was a good skier / snowboarder.
He's very talented.
Can we get Jeff Macke up on here? Jeff, I don't have.
I do have one chart. Can I show one chart?
Yeah.
You can. Real quick. So the sports gambling stuff, you could build a basket. Avi Bond is asking. Matthew Gamble just mentioned they're selling DraftKings into the open. You could buy a whole basket here. SBET is one of them. Genius Sports, GENI is another one. I just got into Flutter yesterday. ahead of their earnings.
That's the Australian one?
That's all-time highs, Flutter. Right?
FLUT. I bought it yesterday.
Yep. Australian?
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
They're FanDuel. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Australia. Yes, DraftKings, boo, giving it all back. Duh, it sucks when that happens.
Throw slide 2, and then we'll go to Macke. This is a big one, guys. How do we feel about the ETH making new 6-month highs today relative to the old BTC? Strazza, what do you think?
And the SRAD is the other one. Bitcoin. Yeah. Sorry.
Still talking about the sports betting.
Yeah. I'm very bullish on the gambling.
I'm talking about actual gambling here and crypto.
You got to own the ETH. I'm with you, JC. This is fantastic. This speaks to a certain degree of risk appetite in the broader crypto space. This is what we have been waiting to see. I think we absolutely need to see it at this point in the cycle for a broader bull run in crypto to really get going here. So this is just super encouraging to anybody who's bullish crypto, long crypto, has exposure to altcoins. This is a big development. I think Coinbase is on sale here.
CryptoPunks back above $200,000 for the floor price. Just shout out to me.
You know, Michael Novogratz was on this morning, and I love listening to him because he's so smart and he's been just an early, big investor.
They own a bunch of CryptoPunks.
So they're asking him about, yeah, they do. They asked him about Circle, and he just kind of laughed and was like, "Listen, Coinbase owns 50% of their revenue stream." So it's kind of crazy that Circle's market cap is what it is. And Coinbase is sitting over here getting no love at all. So
what does that mean? Buy Coinbase or sell Circle?
Both probably, right?
Both.
Listen, the stable coin.
Play the spread.
The thing with Circle is you have to be careful because more alternatives, stablecoin investment alternatives are going to come to market. And they're not going to be the only game in town anymore. I think they're really benefiting from that. And there's a big premium in the stock. People are flooding into stable coins right now, right? You keep hearing the most bullish things in the world about stable coins. Circle's really the best and almost only equity option to invest in the stable coins. So I think that's what's really going on running that stock higher.
All right. I'm just going to bring Jeff out. He's been waiting very patiently. We have Jeff Macke fresh off his Peloton right now. Oops.
Is he sweating?
Wait, where'd he go? I don't know.
Sweating?
I don't know. Is he Jeff?
Jeff Macke.
Hi, boys. Can you hear me? We good?
What's up?
Here.
We just got off the Peloton call, which is much less sweatier than the actual rides.
All right.
It's far less sweatier. A glorious quarter. The consumers turn up. Have you guys seen Bros this morning? Up 21% on 7% comps. I mean, it's where's all these troubled consumers that can't afford a burrito and refuse to go to Starbucks? Apparently, they're all at Bros, spending top dollar for like grenadine coffee. Peloton turns in a terrific cash flow positive quarter. The stock's all over the place, but you know what? The short thesis on them is they're going to zero. And here's the hard reality. They just went cash flow positive. Their adjusted EBITDA, which obviously comes with a zillion 5 asterisks because it's adjusted EBITDA. It's a fake number. But, it's financially viable and it works for their debt. They went from 4 to 400 million in adjusted EBITDA over the course of the last year. They're going to go higher next year. It's, they make a great buyout target. The company's going nowhere. I love the quarter. So, we're seeing the consumer turn up all over the place, despite the endless headlines that he's not. And just because he's not going to kind of terrible alternatives or lesser choices doesn't mean the consumer's not spending. We still are spending like drunken sailors. Now, it's what we call a stock picker's market, JC, and that kind of plays into my hands. I like those kind of markets.
Oh, so, I like it too, Jeff. Let me ask you this. Jeff, guys, if you're not listening out, if you guys are not familiar with Jeff Macke, he is the guy when it comes to consumer and consumer stocks. For me, for my money, especially stocks that, one might not consider the consumer, things like Uber, which is an industrial, or things like Netflix, which is a communications, probably should be consumer staples, and other types of stocks that are part of the consumer. Our discussion this morning was on Eli Lilly getting slaughtered here, as it turns out that overweight people need to exercise and eat instead of taking a drug. Imagine that. I can't believe it. Is Eli Lilly a consumer stock, Mr. Macke?
I think they're getting a consumer riff. That's why you lump these things as a drug. Obviously, they're a drug company, but what's more consumer facing than GLP? Are people paying top dollar to take the skinny drugs? You know, that sounds consumery to me, JC. Are they paying for Netflix? Like, I don't give a crap how Netflix shows up at my house. It seems like a consumer decision whether or not I'm gonna binge some crappy Jake Paul fight, or I mean,
and they did, by the way.
And they did in huge numbers. The most widely seen fight in history, which just sucks to high heaven as a boxing purist. But you know what? I don't care. I'm an investor more than that. So they're making a huge amount of money. TKO got a decent payout from ESPN. Bob Iger is spraying money out at the streaming content players. It's that NFL deal was bonkers. They gave the NFL 10% of ESPN so they could have Red Zone. It seems like a pretty good market to be selling content. There's going to be more fights on TV. I like a lot of these different plays, but yeah, Lilly's getting slaughtered. You're seeing kind of a hit, the little add-on effect. Hims is a little bubbly stock. We've got another stock, Weight Watchers. It turns out that not eating plus changing your lifestyle a little bit is actually kind of the best way to go about losing weight. Our man Phil can tell us more about that.
Shout out Phil Perlman.
Shout out Phil Perlman, as always, the guru of fit. But you know what? It's just have a little discipline and change your lifestyle a bit. And so I'm leaning into companies that are kind of addressing both those sides of the equation. We're at the GLP-1 stage where everyone who is just going to inject crap in their body and make it work, they've tried it. They're there. They already understand the limitations. It turns out if you drink like a fish and stuff your face, even if you aren't hungry, you're probably not going to lose weight. It goes with lifestyle. But again, the underlying point and the misses you're seeing today was a tough day for those who say tariffs don't matter. You saw Crocs getting obliterated, both because they're sort of an ugly shoe. It's a little out of style right now, but also essentially just their cost of goods sold go crazy. I saw people in the chat are talking about On. I love On. I have no idea why the president chose to pick a fight with Switzerland, a country that is dedicated to 800 years of we refuse to pick a side and we don't give a crap why you're, just give us your gold and we're not asking questions. We're in a fight with Switzerland. Okay, didn't see that coming. Should have seen it coming, just because. Why not? The Swiss Guard military. We are prepared to take them out in an hour. I have no idea what the idea is. That obviously affects On. Adidas came out and warned yesterday. It's not a suicide pact, but in terms of an investment, they have momentum. People want the product. Once they make this tariff adjustment, assuming any stability in terms of what this is going to cost them, that stock will work much better. But until then, it's the headline stream is just insane. Switzerland is seriously like 80 banks, 5 drug companies that are suspiciously linked to Germany from 100 years ago, and it's On. So now all of a sudden On's facing all these tariffs. It's a problem for them for sure. But that's why we have a portfolio instead of just one stock that we buy.
Mr. Jeff Macke, one of the things that I love about the market is weak-minded individuals who cannot take the politics out of the decision-making equation. Makes me so happy, provides the rest of us with so many great opportunities. The latest one here, people getting very angry. I don't know what this has anything to do with politics, but they've made it political. People very angry about a hot blonde making so much money. Can you throw up slide 2 there, please, Spencer? What are people so mad about, Jeff?
Just they're angry. I'm not sure, Jason. It's weird to me. I saw him as kind of an artsy ad, and American Eagle kind of part of the national conversation for the first time in a million years. That immediately ever, pretty much ever. Like literally, I can remember just because I'm 1,005 years old. I'm like Methuselah here saying, once this was a brand, but that was 25 years ago. It's Spencer and I were talking about this stock literally the day the Sydney Sweeney ads hit, just because it was $10 for the umpteenth time over the last 20 years. It exploded that afternoon on the Sydney Sweeney ads. I wrote about it right away because it's like, this is, hey, look, an attractive person in blue jeans. Well, that seems like a good way to sell blue jeans. It was a nice nod to kind of a Brooke Shields campaign from years and years ago, which only drove Calvin Klein sales up threefold in about 18 months. So, it's nice. There's going to be selling more denim. Levi had a great quarter. I think there's a tailwind in denim. And I think that American Eagle being part of the conversation is great. Now, can that go too far? It's to your earlier point. I would like guys with kind of hotter bodies to be talking about how they're in favor of this ad rather than just sort of the perv collection. And I hate to see it polarizing. I mean, my takeaway from the ad was Sydney's more dressed than she is in almost anything else you see her in.
Also
and
true.
She's
also true.
Yeah, and she's 5'3" and looked great in the jeans. So the goal of an advertisement is, hey, I could look good in those blue jeans. That's nice. American Eagle is the 4th biggest denim seller in the United States. If you're going to be selling more denim than expected at American Eagle, you're probably going to be fine. The stock is priced to go bankrupt, essentially. I mean, it's priced the way you would price a stock that just has negative comps forever. But with 42% of the business denim, I think they're going to have strong Q3 denim if they can figure out how to get it into the stores.
It just seems, I don't know anything about like consumer or advertising or anything like that, but it just seems like having like a gorgeous blonde with blue eyes and an amazing body advertising seems better than like some obese woman with weird piercings. Like, isn't that just common sense, Jeff?
Advertisers make ads for other advertisers. And so they're not really trying to dictate these societal norms. They're trying to come up with something, they want their friends to say, oh, that was edgy and that was hot and it was part of the conversation. They want to have that conversation, which is why the Sydney Sweeney ad actually cinematically was nice. It was grainy. Again, it was a callback to an earlier age, intentionally so. Her peeling out in a very old car, a very awesome car, that's entirely retro. People are missing the point to say that she was sexually objectified. That's the least sexually objectified she's been in.
I was going to say,
anything I've seen for the last 10 years. Yeah,
she's naked the whole time and everything she does.
She's fully dressed for once, and she makes one jeans joke, which again is a straight lift from a Calvin Klein ad from 1980 when Brooke Shields was 15. People get creeped out about the wrong crap, JC. Like, there's plenty of reason to be outraged out there, but it's not a 27-year-old actress.
What's the next company? You and I on the phone the other day, we were I was actually using the Generated Assets app trying to find the next company that she would advertise for. Any thoughts? Any guesses?
I think she would be better off kind of backing up just a little bit. I bought AEO, as it settled down in the wake of this controversy, again, on the super complicated idea that AEO is going to be selling more denim than expected in the third quarter, and I think that's a good thing. Let's not overthink it there. And so I just kept it real simple. That was before the president got involved, before we just sort of got a little crazy with it. Again, the idea of selling jeans is you want people watching the ad to say, I could look good in those, and buy themselves some denim. You don't want them to say, I'm going to wear these because I like to argue with strangers about politics. That's a less effective way to sell blue jeans. So, it's to the extent AEO can back off the ads. What's that?
Is this trend here to stay? Are we going to have like attractive women, doing ads again? Are we back?
Oh, we're back in a sense. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I think you can cherry pick these more unfortunate ad campaigns out there, and it's certainly easy to do so. But the idea that we've been
like
featuring
Jaguar or something like that, like they fired the
know,
Jaguar guy after that. Right.
As well they should have. But again, putting attractive people in clothing and selling it that way, we've got, several hundred years of this as a way to move product. So I'm not that, I think like that was probably the second thing Gutenberg printed was like a hottie and kind of a tunic that was just outrageously low cut. It's just, yes, of course we're back. We never left. We never left.
I like to see it, Jeff.
All right. I'm imagining the second pamphlet.
But hold on.
Sticking with
that, it could go too far, right? Like Abercrombie and Fitch when they had like dudes not wearing any clothes or something like that, like 20 years ago. Like that went wrong, right?
Life is a pendulum, man, and which is why I have a hard time taking the politics all that seriously, because America, a proud tradition of going way too far in one direction and then just overreacting.
Because we all remember the dudes in the mall, like Jack dudes outside the store. That didn't end well, Jeff.
It ended with about a decade of just hideous and well-deserved abuse. I know people on Twitter finance. Actually, there's an entire kind of subsector of them who were like swimmers in high school, and their job in high school was to take off their shirt and just stand around in sweatpants in front of the Abercrombie store.
Our catcher on the Fairfield baseball team was one
right,
of
right, and probably does not consider himself a victim. I'm guessing he looks back on those days as, boy, that was a nice summer, because I just kind of stood there and people took pictures of me. But anyway, it was a super creepy line, and they went way too far. At the comeback of Abercrombie is actually an amazing story, incredible story, because that was a super creepy operation run by a guy who was being sued for his creepiness way after the fact. He opted out because of mental. It's a terrible story, but the company made an incredible comeback and became a place where I was literally buying stuff with my teen son when they were hot a couple of years ago. And as I'll always say, man, if you can sell stuff to both the kid and the parents at the same time, you are cooking with gas as a specialty retailer. Now, Abercrombie actually too, that stock's been on fire. It took an unremitting beating for months and months and months. It's back up over 100. A lot of stocks that the consumer shouldn't be. We talked about Williams-Sonoma the other day. That stock shouldn't be great. That shouldn't be behaving as well as it is if we're going into this deep recession. I just think that Amazon, for all the problems with that quarter, it was all AWS. That was the best retail quarter I've seen on Amazon in 5 years. So people are buying stuff. They simply are. You can argue that they shouldn't be, or this is the last time they're going to, and it's all going to end, and the end is nigh. As always, man, the world is going to blow up eventually. It's a shitty trade because there's nowhere to cash in.
Jeff, you just got back. I got one more question. You just got back from a cruise. Me personally, I couldn't imagine a worse scenario than being stuck on a boat with all these people that they pick up in Times Square, right? You got all these tourists stuck in a boat. You get somewhere, you want to have a nice dinner in the city that you're in, but you can't. You got to get back in the stupid boat, and you can't eat dinner in the country that you're in. Like, for me, this is like a nightmare. Like, can you tell me how your experience was? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. And
you're totally wrong. You are absolutely wrong. And this is from a guy who Disney announced yesterday that they launched their biggest ship ever, which for perspective is like 8 times the size of the Titanic. It's close enough to hell. It's close enough to Dante's vision of hell that I'm willing just to substitute the two for, so I agree with your point that there's that level of it. But what they're discovering is a higher end customer that is not necessarily, wanting just to hopscotch between party islands and just get hammered and be hungover and be in the casino. The cruise I went on was up to Alaska. It's nice to stop at different places. We went to Denali. It was truly it was a great time. No free ads, but it was just a really nice, classy time on a smaller boat with decks, and it was just quite a bit of fun. And the number one conversation between men about my age was, I can't believe I'm on a freaking cruise, and don't tell the wife, but having a good time.
Nice.
You're not that bad.
I'm happy to hear it. Like, in theory, it sounds like my worst nightmare, but I'm happy to see that might be wrong.
If you had a deck, you had the kids in another room, JC, you had your own little porch out there that you and the missus are just kind of watching the icebergs go by as you sail in your cruise, I think you would have found things to like about it.
This is the trick.
I think you would have enjoyed it.
Just get a room with a balcony. If you're on one of the rooms on the inside, it's tough. I couldn't imagine that, but
you gotta get.
But that's where they're going after. And I tell you what, Disney, those cruises performed like crazy, at least 25%. They don't break it out, but they're making all their money on cruises right now. And Iger he is flipping out cash. He is playing for legacy, and he gives not one crap what he has to pay to do it. And his main investment right now is in cruise ships. And the idea is, listen, we can bring the Disney experience all over the world. The idea that we have to negotiate with these foreign governments forever to build these parks, that's wrong. Let's build a ship, and we'll pack 9 zillion people in there. And yes, I agree, it sounds a little chaotic to me for my personal taste, but we're going to take the Disney culture abroad, and it's a great business. I mean, there's a lot of money flooding into that space right now. I'm a little trepidatious. We have the index. We made a upscale cruise index where I try to tap into companies that appeal to that higher end consumer, because I think that's where it's going. I think guys like you, JC, are going to look at this and say, you know what, I've never been to Alaska. It's freaking gorgeous. I would love to see different places. You know, you sail at night, you land, you go for a bike, a hike.
Fun fact. You ready for this fun fact? Fun fact.
Lay it on me.
I've actually been on a cruise to Alaska before. Maybe, how old am I? 43? Maybe 25, 30 years ago, maybe something like that. It was a long time ago. I went with my parents. It was, you know.
And did you have a nice time with your parents?
I don't remember it being that great, to be honest.
You had a great time, JC. You cynic. You had a wonderful time.
No, it was like one of those things where, like,
not on my watch, son.
The boat had like a dome over it. Did yours have a dome over it? Like the pool area had like a dome over it?
Yeah, man, it's called a solarium, right?
Whoa, that's a fancy word.
Okay. I was on a Silver Seas. We had a butler. My kids didn't even know how to talk to the butler. They're just like, some guy came in the room and he's like just hanging out. It was way kind of just above how you experience.
So if you're going to go on a cruise, if you're going to go on a cruise, you got to be bougie about it. You got to go on the high end cruises. You got to get a balcony. Sounds expensive, Jeff. Sounds expensive.
It's not cheap. I'll be perfectly honest, but it's a lifetime of memory. They're appealing to people who are just looking for something that's going to mark a time in life. I saw a lot of families out there where it's like the kids are going off to college, the kids are leaving. I had my mom there, so we had 3 generations. Everyone's on a boat. You get to just do different stuff every day. It's a really nice area for that, and people are pretty price insensitive for things that are going to be a lifetime of memories versus, I'm a little price sensitive about let's go waste a day at Disneyland. I live 50 miles away, and it's just like,
dude, they got it's some racket at Disney, man. You and I, we've talked.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, we used to take our kids there. It's a great way to spend every penny of cash you have on your body.
Dude, I spent $50. Speaking of lifetime of memories, $50 buying balloons as we're leaving the park. $50 on balloons.
That's on you. That is on you and nobody else. All right. Listen,
you tell your 2-year-old twins that they can't have a balloon. Good luck with that.
If you want more Jeff Macke in your life, and I think you do, the link to get his free note is in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube. If you actually want to find out what Jeff is buying and selling in his portfolio, spoiler alert, he did sell. He kicked 2 stocks out this week. The link to get those trades is in the description. That's Macke's Retail Roundup. And you'll find out what he's buying and what he's selling when he does it. So a lot going on there. And we're coming into retail earnings season in a couple of weeks. So Jeff's going to be very, very busy. We'll talk to you then. So
this is my major. I'll be a little wired. I'm not sure if I'll be talking, but I'll be good for a rant or two and probably about 50 columns. So,
excellent.
Jeff Macke, good for a rant? Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, see you, Jeff. It does. Talk
Adios,
to you
Jeff.
All right, let's skedaddle. It is 9:53. A busy day on the channel. Breakout multiplier members, you'll get your weekly strategy session with Strazza in like an hour from now. We have Kenny going live at noon. Gold Rush going live at 2. Options Jam session going live at 3. Crypto going live at 6. Busy day today. Thank you to Jeff and Kenny and Jake and chat as always. We appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place, same everything, different clothes, obviously. Smash the like, go make some money, all right?
Adios.
I can't take no